Refer to the diagram when answering this question. LR, NP, and MK intersect at Q. So they are saying that LR, NP, MK intersect here at Q. This is where they meet. So the first question is, write down the pairs of parallel lines shown. So we need to write down the pairs of parallel lines from this diagram. You must always remember that to identify parallel lines in such diagrams, you must look at these arrows that are drawn on these lines. So you can see that we have this arrow and this arrow, which is a single arrow and a single arrow. So these arrows indicate that these two lines are parallel. So we can then say that MQ and PR are parallel, or we can say MK and PR are parallel. So MK is parallel to PR. And then other parallel lines, you can see we have these arrows. Now there are two, so we have this arrow and this arrow, and also this arrow and this arrow. So they indicate that this line and these lines are parallel. So LR is parallel to NK. So LR is parallel to NK. And let's go to number B. So number B, they're saying that fill in the sizes of the unknown angles at Q. So we need to fill in the sizes of this unknown angle at Q. So this is Q. In other words, we need to determine the size of Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and Q6. So how do we do it? If we can look at this diagram firstly, we can see that Q5 is equals to 40 degrees, right? But Q2 is vertically opposite to Q5, making Q2 equals to 40 also. So in other words, we will have Q2 is equals to Q5, right? Why? These are vertically opposite angles. So we know that vertical opposite angles are equal. So making Q2 equals to 40 also, 40 degrees. So we managed to find the value of Q2. So we are left with Q1, Q3, Q4, and Q6. But there's a way of us finding Q3. Remember that we said these two lines are parallel, NK and LR, right? So we can see that from NK, QR, we have a Z here. So this Z here tells us that this angle here, angle K, alternates with Q3, okay? So K alternates with Q3 because it's Z. So Q3 is equals to 75, okay? Because these are alternating angles. So Q3 will be equals to 75 degrees. Why? Alternating angles. So we managed to find Q2 and Q3. So we are left with Q1, Q4, and Q6. But looking at Q6, you can see that Q6 and Q3 are vertically opposite angles. Remember that you can identify vertical opposite angles by an X. So if we have angles like this angle will be equal to this one. And this one here will be equal to this one. Okay, so Q6 and Q3 are equal. In other words, angle Q6 will also be equal to Q3. So angle Q6 will be equal to Q3. In other words, therefore, angle Q6 will also be equal to 75 degrees. So we managed to find Q2, Q3, and Q6. We are left with Q1 and Q4. So we can identify angle Q4 using angles on a straight line. So if we can look at angle Q3, angle Q4, and angle Q5, they are on a straight line. So we're just gonna add Q3, Q4, and Q5 because they are on a straight line. So we'll have angle Q3 plus angle Q4 plus angle Q5. The angles on a straight, they add up to 180 degrees. So we know that the reason for this is angles on a straight line. So we just have to substitute here. Remember that we found Q3 as 75. So we'll put, in a place of Q3, we'll put 75 degrees. Plus Q4, this is the one that we're looking for. We write it as it is. Plus Q5. So we are given that Q5 is 40. Remember, this was already given. So we'll have 40 degrees here equals to 180 degrees. And then what we'll do from here, we'll add 75 and 40, right? So we'll have Q4 plus 75 plus 40 is how much? It will give us 115 degrees equals to 180 degrees. So since you're looking for Q4, we are going to transpose this 115 on the right hand side, right? So we'll have Q4 equals to 180 degrees, and then when you transpose this 115 on the right hand side, it will be negative. So remember, when it's on the left it's positive, when you transpose it will be negative. So Q4 will be equals to 65 degrees. 65 degrees. And then number C, they are saying that we should determine the value of x with reasons. So we need to determine the value of x with reasons. So to determine the value of x, it will be easier because we already have this angle here, angle Q4, and we have 3x here. So if we can look at angle Q4 and angle 3x, they are corresponding. So they are forming an F. So you can see that we have this from MLQR, and then from Q here to P. So it's like an F. So in other words, this angle here, angle Q4, will correspond with 3x, right? So remember that corresponding angles are equal. So what we will do to find x, we will just say 3x equals to angle Q4. So we'll say 3x is equals to Q4. Why? These are corresponding angles. Okay? And then remember that we found the value of Q4. Remember, Q4 is 65, right? So what we will do here, we'll say 3x will be equals to, Q4 is what is 65 degrees. So we'll put 65 degrees here. And then since we are looking for the value of x here, we're going to divide both sides by 3. So the value of x will be equals to 21.67.